Hi, this is Luis Riveros, and this is a video response to PsychedelicMadman comment about free will, duality, and ego. And he mentioned, I have wonder in regards to freedom and the logical lack of there being freedom with causality. In parentheses, the ego is the product of causality. Does the oneness transcend causality? And if we are ultimately all this one, then could I at least say in some sense that I have indeed chosen all the events that have defined who I am, this ego that I presently experience? Yet the truth is a paradox, so it will seem in that non-duality fate is created or free will is determined. Okay, so that is a comment that PsychedelicMadman has made. So let me just go a little bit into it. First of all, what I'm observing is that many times even the choices that I think that I have, for instance, if I am hungry and I want to go to the store to buy some bread, it may appear that is out of my own volition. That is free will. However, hunger was triggered out of some mechanism which is out of my control. I can be hungry up at a particular time, at a particular day. I can be fasting for a couple of days, 2 or 3 days, but sooner or later hunger will be noticed, and that is out of my volition. This being right now is a consequence of many things, such as traditions, educational background, genetic makeup, and even, like I mentioned before, we as spiritual beings, then it follows that if we are to follow the principle of cause and effect, then definitely I had to have another life before this life, which is what we know as reincarnation. So causality follows all the time. The problem is when even my language, the language that we use, is meant to give some nutrition to the ego. The I am different. The I think, the I act. So I think that I have free will. That statement gives life to ego. In other words, free will gives life to ego. So oneness then is actually when there is no such a thing as the ego, as we know and we see through the understanding of cyclical time, that everything is predestined, and that predestination is cause and effect, and only that, but that predestination is repetitive. In other words, whatever I'm talking right now, I have done it before. It's a repetition, and repetition means eternity. It is almost like what we observe in nature. You know, the earth will go around the solar system endless times, and it will be repetitive. Day will follow night, and it's repetitive. Everything is repetitive, and they have a geodesic circular pattern. So in this way too, every single moment in life, and that is the paradoxical aspect of it, even though it may seem like it is one of a kind, it is actually repetitive. You know, it's eternal. So even though it's once, you know, it seems like it just happened, and it's so precious because it will never happen again. Paradoxically, it is also eternal. It has happened many times. And that is the concept that Nietzsche made popular, and it's called eternal return. So all these concepts, they tied up together. And to feel that oneness, to feel everything as being one, as PsychedelicMadman mentions, Right now it's more like a utopia, because as long as we have that ego within us, that oneness is out of our reach. And perhaps there is somebody there that is ego free, that can feel that, but at the same time, within that makeup, it has to be some sort of egolessness, which accepts things, which is no longer giving self-importance to whatever wants, whatever desires I have. Because wants and desires are just ego. They're just ego. So once I have the acceptance of whatever is happening, occurring, as if I am watching a movie on a TV, then I can see that things are happening. And even though I experience them happening, the experiencer, which in this case will be me, is detached from that experience. It's just like watching a movie. The problem is that many times we feel part of the movie, and then if the actors of that movie are crying, then I cry. If the actor of the movie is laughing, then I laugh. But we forget that we're watching a TV program. And that is the issue, that is the problem. So predestination gives us this way of acceptance of things as they are. So all possibilities of wishing and wanting and desiring different things basically take us into duality. And that means that even though we may obtain something that we desire, there is no fulfillment in it. And the proof of that is that we will still look for something different. That we're always searching for something different, we are always searching for fulfillment. And we won't be able to find that while we are still desiring. As we know, fulfillment is in the self. And the self, by being spiritual, is non-dual. Once we reach duality because of the consciousness of the body, the consciousness of the role, then we are in trouble. And this is where spirituality comes into the picture, which is allowing us to feel that which is non-dual, which is actually our true nature, because it's the only thing that survives, even though we change bodies, even though we change roles. So the paradox is that we feel that we have free will as long as we don't know, as long as we are not aware that predestination exists. Thank you.